Sir, what was discussed in today's meeting, sir?
We set two records today. I had the attendance of 28 of the 30 members of the committee, which is a record for the committee in its history. There's always some absenteeism, but this time it was an amazing turnout by the MPs. Secondly, we met for 3¼ hours, which may not be an absolute record, but it's close to being one. Because the fact is that there was so much interest in the issues. Obviously, the bulk of the discussion was on the India-EU trade agreement and the India-US trade agreement. Something like 17, 18 MPs had questions to ask. We engaged the Foreign Secretary and the Chief Negotiator from the Commerce Ministry fully. They responded in great detail, very comprehensively to our questions and concerns. And as you know, there are rules of confidentiality in the committee, but the most important fact to note is that given what they have told us, we're looking forward to the interim agreement being finalized by the middle of next month. When that comes out, I think some of the questions and doubts that people have may be addressed. There are other concerns that some have, which I think will be in people's minds. I'm sure this issue will come up in Parliament debating as well. But I do want to stress that it was an extremely effective example of what committees do in Parliament that is so useful. Because you have the voices of representatives from so many states raising such important questions to the people who are dealing with some of the issues that affect the well-being of all of us. So I must say, for us, it was genuinely a very, very good meeting.
Sir, whether the Russian oil issue was discussed, sir?
Of course, every issue you can imagine was discussed. That's why we took so long.
So what about the agriculture?
Agriculture was discussed. We had representatives from states where agriculture is a major concern. All these issues were, frank questions were asked and full answers were given.
How was the response from the government side?
Government side answered very fully, and I thanked both the Foreign Secretary and the Chief Negotiator for the very candid and full answers we got. But some details will have to await, particularly with regard to the US, will have to await the interim agreement, which is not yet ready. This is a framework that has been announced in the joint statement. The agreement will come out next month.
Sir, today's White House release, it includes certain pulses, sir. That was the question, whether it was
I have not
raised.
seen today's White House release. I'm afraid I was in Parliament, as you know, and I came from the Lok Sabha here. So if I had seen that, I might have asked about it. But I don't think that was asked.
सर 500 बिलियन वाले मामले पर भी बातचीत हुई क्या कि किस तरह
बहुत
से
डिटेल में बातचीत हुई कि कैसे करेंगे, कैसे 5 से 500 तक पहुंच जाएंगे. लेकिन उसके लिए भी जवाब है, क्योंकि हम तो करीब आजकल 42 बिलियन के इंपोर्ट्स करते हैं वहाँ से. उसको डबल करना वो लोग कह रहे हैं कि मुश्किल नहीं है, क्योंकि हमें बहुत बड़ी ज़रूरियाँ हैं, जैसे कि टेक्नोलॉजी, एयरक्राफ्ट पार्ट्स, डेटा सर्वर, सेमीकंडक्टर्स. तो इस मामले में बढ़ जाएगा. और ये भी कहा गया कि 500 बिलियन एक हार्ड एंड फास्ट कमिटमेंट नहीं है, एस्पिरेशन है, कोशिश करेंगे. लेकिन ये नहीं है कि अगर हम पहले साल में 100 तक नहीं पहुंचे कि कुछ सैंक्शंस आएंगे हमारे ऊपर, ऐसे नहीं है.
Are you satisfied with the explanation which was given by the government?
I found the explanations very full and comprehensive.
So what about the Bangladesh?
The Bangladesh issue, unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to discuss. What we know is that the Indian government has been in touch with all parties in Bangladesh, and when the election results are out, we will call the Foreign Secretary back for a Bangladesh-specific discussion. There simply wasn't time, because of the extensive amount of time spent on EU and US, which have already happened, to discuss Bangladesh, which is about to happen on the 12th of February is the election. So after the election results, we'll have another meeting.
So, Mr. Tharoor, you yourself have been External Affairs Minister. You travelled to the US also. While speaking in the House, you termed this Indo-US trade deal as a pre-committed purchase agreement, not a reciprocal pact. After the meeting, how do you see this now?
No, I mean, that objection remains, but there are strategic reasons why some such commitments have been made. The other concern that I had expressed, you remember, was that reciprocal cannot be 18-0.
You mentioned that in the speech.
But the answer given once again is that there is no country that doesn't have tariffs. The Americans are acting in this way. Even though they're using the word reciprocal, they're not defining it the way in which the dictionary defines it. they're using it even against countries where there is no comparable tax. So the UK has 10%, no country has less. Every country is above that. EU has 15%, Japan has 15%. We are the lowest rates amongst developing countries, or countries that would not be considered OECD countries.
I know you won't get into the details, but did you find the reply on India importing Russian oil, whatever the official, did you find the reply satisfactory, convincing, sir?
I said it was a very full and comprehensive reply. I don't want to go beyond that now. Thank you very
so
much.
much, sir. Thank you so